Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. In the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I'm a South African woman, but as for my mom, she came to South Africa, and then that was when she met my father. My mother passed away when I was still very young, but there are a lot of questions that I still have about the way that my mom passed away. We were told that my father used to go back to his ex-wife, and sometimes he would bring over his ex-wife even though he was now married to my mother, which is quite dangerous. And my mom, one day she woke up and she said that she was having a headache, and then that was when she passed away. That is what happened to my mother. So I grew up with my stepmom, who was my father's ex-wife. That woman was very toxic. There were many days when she would shout at me. There were many days when she would belittle me, when she would tell me that I really meant nothing in her world. Even when I fell pregnant, she laughed so hard because my dad used to be proud because of the way that I was really intelligent. So she was like, where is your daughter right now? Where is your daughter? We thought that she was too clever. They were never going to impregnate him. So growing up in that environment, I grew up as someone that really had no self-confidence at all because of the way that my stepmother used to mistreat me. It was quite terrible. I do not want to lie to you. In order for me to survive, in order for me to buy anything for my child, I had to hustle. So by hustling, I mean like I had to go and sell my body just for a guy to give me any money that he could offer to me. That was all that mattered to me at that time. That was when I started being friends with this other girl that was from Tembisa. So this girl, she was the one who taught me to go to some clubs where I ended up meeting men that had money. So I met this guy. When I met him, it was in the year 2017. I met him, I can say it was by mistake. As for this other friend of mine, she was unable to go to this other lounge party in Santon. It was an all-black party, so she was sick, and I asked her, what is wrong with you? Because there were people that kept on calling her, and she was like, where can I go to because I am on my period? And then that was when I suggested that I could go there, and if there were some money that was going to be made, I was going to share a little bit with him, so she was not going to lose out. So she spoke with the people that had invited her, and they said that it was okay. That was when I went to Santon. I can say that it was my first time to ever being in an environment where you see rich people everywhere. When I arrived at that house, I was taken indoors by this other guy who was a Nigerian. I immediately fell in love with this guy because of the way that he smelled. He smelled so nice and he was so handsome. He kept on looking at me and he called me his princess, South African princess. And this made me to feel so nice. Within 3 months, me and this guy, we had moved in with each other. He treated me like a queen. I was no longer just like a prostitute, a slave queen or whatever. I was his wife. We had a private wedding at Sun City. Really, there was no family as such. There were just a few of my friends and this other pastor, a Nigerian pastor. I think he was a fake pastor. I fell pregnant later that year. He was overjoyed when I told him that I was pregnant, and he was so happy when we found out that I was carrying a baby boy. He said that this was going to be our key to the future. He then told me that even though he used to drive all of these big cars, but the cars were never his. I found out when we were now staying together because he would receive calls from other Nigerians that were much more wealthier. They would tell him where to go and park the car, what to do. For the first time I saw my husband kneeling down in front of another man after he had made a mess up because he had bumped into another vehicle, but it was not even a big scratch. So the owner of that vehicle came. He seemed to be someone that was very powerful. I saw my husband. He was so scared on that day. So I sat with him down and I said, "What kind of a business do you do?" And then that was when he told me that he was a runner. And when he said that he was a runner, he means like anything. If there is a Nigerian, a big Nigerian, who wants him to travel between Joburg and Cape Town, going to collect maybe a prostitute there or some drugs or even anything, that is the job of a runner. So he told me that this was what he was doing. And then I understood him, but it made me to feel so bad looking at your husband kneeling down in front of another man like that. It made me to feel so terrible. So when he told me that our child could be our future, could give us independence, and independence, that was what I wanted. I want to tell you the truth that I did this, Brother Nashi. I did these rituals not because I wanted to. I did these rituals because I wanted my stepmom to see me driving a G-Wagon, to see me driving a Porsche car. I wanted to see me developing in life because of the way that she used to mistreat me. And I just want to give a warning to other people out there. When you do something in your life, do not do it because you want other people to see that you have achieved A, B, C in your life. Rather, you have to do it because you want to do it. Now I am suffering and I lost my child to the Nigerian, and I know that I will never see him. I don't know if he is still in South Africa, or maybe he just lied to me that he went to Nigeria where he left our child, but he told me that he is going to Germany. I don't know how true it is. So as for this Nigerian guy, Brother Nashi, he told me that there was a secret society, not like your Illuminati type, but this secret society, he told me that there are men and women who are ritualists. So some of them, they end up feeling lonely. So what they do is that they form these groups, these satanic groups, where they meet up with each other. He said, even when we met, do you know that it was a satanic party? That was why we were all dressed up in black. They were celebrating the day of death of this other guy who stayed close to that house, who was also a ritualist. So they were celebrating that, and they had to wear all black. And I did not even know that I had once attended a satanic party, and he told me that there are a lot of people who have attended satanic parties. It is just that they do not know that they have attended such parties. So when he told me that he had joined an occultic group, and in that group, in order for you to start making money, all that was needed was what you loved the most. And I said, what do you love the most? And then he told me that our child was what he had been told, that he was the person that he loved the most in this world, and he was the one that we were supposed to sacrifice. Brother Nashi, I cried. I still remember that day we were sitting on the balcony, the day when he told me that we were supposed to sacrifice our child, and then I agreed. I really do not know why I agreed, but I think a part of me wanted to go back to the location where I grew up so that my stepmom can see that I finally made it in life. But I did not even know that I was messing up big time. We then went to this other house. When we went to that house, I was relieved when I was told that this sacrifice, all that was needed was that my husband, he was going to hold a mirror. And as he was holding a mirror, he was supposed to call the name of our son 8 times over and over again. And as for me, I was supposed to call my son's name 13 times. He took the mirror and he called out our son's name, and he shouted that he is here, he is here. So then that was when I was given the mirror. When I was given the mirror, I saw that my boy, whom we had left back home, he was playing with his toys with his sister. And then that was when he looked at me through the mirror. Then he started walking towards the bedroom. He went, and then he went into the bathroom. I could see everything that he was doing. He took a bucket, he climbed on top of the bucket, and then that was when he looked into the mirror as well. And then I saw him appearing in front of me as I was calling out his name 18 times. So the priest was the one that was counting. Brother Nashe, as for my husband, he told me that he wanted to leave South Africa, but he was going to come back. He said that he was scared that his mom, with the COVID that was happening, the mom, maybe she might die because she was quite old. I trusted him. With the assets that we had here in South Africa, I never thought that he will never return back. But he went with my son and he never returned back from Nigeria. And all those assets that we had bought in the few years that we stayed together, they all vanished away. Some of the items, they were taken by SARS. I was left with nothing. And then that was when I returned back to the location where I grew up, and I tried to find a job, but it is very difficult. As for now, I am working as a security guard, but I only work part-time. I don't work full-time. When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Unfortunately, my father passed away without telling me where exactly does he come from in Zim, because I was told by this other Sangoma that the reason as to why I am suffering like this, it is because my ancestors, they are looking for me. They want me to go to Zim so that I can introduce myself to my own relative. When you post my story, please, I beg you, I just want to hear what other people are going to say about my story. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.